If you're familiar with track and field, one of the most challenging events are the hurdles, between 30 to 42 inches high. These L-shaped obstacles are equally spaced out over the course of 100 meters. The object is for the hurdler to be able to know when to contort their body into a sphere and launch themselves over the hurdle without touching the crossbar or knocking the hurdle down, both resulting in penalties, shaving off seconds of this timed race. Then recovering, resuming a sprint, and negotiating the next hurdle, then the next, then the next, then the next, ending with a sprint to the finish line. Oh my God, just like life, and the hurdler theory was born. I've grasped onto that theory and used it as a teaching point when I've had the opportunity to chat about leadership and life with my kids and the young men and women that I've had the honor to serve with in the military. And the great thing about this theory? There was no thesis required. I've always enjoyed the opportunity to talk with them about their jobs, families, and their goals. As I'm a little bit older and a little bit wiser, I've seen myself in the role as a mentor and in many cases a surrogate father. But one thing is for sure, we can't escape the fact that we are all hurdlers in this race of life, from the time we're born until the time we depart this earth. Regardless of your race, age, ethnic background, gender, shape, size, education, emotional challenge, or socioeconomic background, regardless of who we are and where we fit into the trajectory of life, the bottom line, we all have to get over hurdles. Success or failure, it all depends on how you negotiate the hurdles. Olympic caliber hurdlers, well, they just vault over the hurdles. But that's not us. We're just mere mortals. For us, we have to struggle, unceremoniously most of the time, clumsily running, walking, crawling, and clawing to get past the hurdles. We have to figure out if we leap over, go around, under, or just barrel through the daily race of life. Like everyone, I've been on my hands and knees crawling and clawing to get through the day. And be sure of this, you will get knocked down. The hurdles will get the best of you. In every race, we all end up falling flat on our face. And some of these falls may temporarily keep us out of the race for a few seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, or even years. Whatever the reason, whatever life circumstances, we do one of two things. We drive on or we quit. What decision will you make? Each one of us has to make that decision. In my military career, failure was not an option because the culture teaches you that whatever the situation, you improvise, adapt, and overcome. You get back in the race. You get the mission done. Just like life. And don't forget, you're not running the race alone. We all have coaches to help us get over the hurdles. The ones you can count on for guidance, that are there to get you through the difficult times. They keep you motivated and give you never-ending encouragement. They're your biggest fans. Your spouse, mom and dad, grandparents, family and friends, coaches, teachers, clergy, colleagues, and I'm sure many others. They're the ones who will catch you and pick you up when you knock down that hurdle. Be there to dust you off and to kick you in the pants when you need that extra push to keep you on track. And the good thing, they won't give up on you. They'll be with you all throughout your race. Keep your eyes focused on the hurdles in front of you, because there will be negative influences who will try to take you off course, to get you on to another track under the false promise of running an easier race. So let me make this as clear as a bell. There are no easy races. There are no free rides. There are no giveaways. And every decision you make has consequences. Got it? You choose your path. But remember, if you do stray, and most of us do, doesn't mean the race is over. It means you made a mistake. Once you realize that, you can get back on the right track. May take a little effort, but you can. Or not. It's up to you. I'm a big fan of war movies. Have you ever heard of the three-strike rule? I first heard of it when I saw the great Vietnam War classic, We Were Soldiers. It's the story of the 7th Cavalry of the 1st Air Mobile Division. Mel Gibson plays the role of their iconic battalion commander, Lieutenant Colonel Hal Moore. In one scene, Colonel Moore is running with his officers, and he makes the most prophetic statement of life and leadership. 3 strikes and you're not out. There is always something else that can be done. In the movie, he was talking about how Army leaders deal with the stress of combat. But the 3-strike rule applies to all of us. It's part of how we run our race. We're expected to figure it out. And he's right. There is always another way to get past that obstacle and over the hurdle. Always another way to get the job done. They had a single focus, performing their mission. As mortals, the majority of us have to be hurdlers and coaches. Parents, teachers, supervisors, husbands and wives, students, brothers and sisters. We are all running 2 parallel races. We're hurdlers running our race and helping others run theirs. We can't strike out. I've learned the most important lesson of life. Ready? That the only person that can stop you from achieving your dreams is you. And the second is having faith. That indomitable spirit when the physics of life tells us we can't go on, faith gives us the strength and courage to keep going. Believe me, there are miracles. Unexplainable reasons where faith lifts us over insurmountable hurdles after we're so downtrodden and ready to give up. And we need faith. How else can we face the responsibility to get over the multiple hurdles of life? Careers, raising a family, paying for college, buying a home, dealing with physical and emotional disabilities, or for some, just the daily struggle of getting up, able to find something to eat. No matter what life throws at us, the old cliche applies, never give up. And will we come to that crossroads where the struggles of life make you want to give up? Of course, that's part of life. And maybe we do, for a while. But success depends on the courage to get back up, get back on the track, and keep running the race. For most of us, this is our daily routine. We set the pace of the race. Remember, very few people are born with that silver spoon into royalty with extreme talents and wealth. When I was 9 years old, my mother committed suicide. The year following her death, my dad and I grew extremely close. We were inseparable. Constant companions. Life was good. But as with life, all good things come to an end. Eventually, my dad started dating and married the woman that would become my stepmother and nemesis. My stepmother never had children, and we moved into her house. Then her true colors came out. A wicked, evil woman whose sole purpose in life became to break my spirit. I was verbally and physically abused. I was locked in closets for hours. I was berated in front of my relatives, constantly called stupid, an idiot, and sequestered from social interaction with my friends. And all I could do was absorb the attacks. A battle of wills and faith. This abuse went on for almost 6 years, and I wouldn't let her win. I counted each day of this hell, knowing that when I hit 18, I would achieve the goal that I wanted since I was 6 years old. I was going into the military. Every time I got up, I got knocked down. Sometimes I got right back up, and sometimes I was so emotionally distressed that I wondered if I was just going to give up. For those who can remember that far back in the 1960s, kids had no voices. In the 1960s, there was no child protective services. Parents were monarchs, their authority unquestioned. I was in pain, angry, and alone. And the only reason I was able to keep going, to keep my spirit and faith, was the friendship, encouragement, and love of my high school friends. They never let me down. They were my coaches who picked me up and got me over that very tumultuous hurdle. I endured and overcame, and went on to follow my dreams, spending almost 40 years in the military. And I've been blessed with a wonderful family. But that wasn't easy, and boy did I make my mistakes. And I live with my failures and regrets. And I got off track, but always got back on. And very slowly I continued the race, getting over the hurdles of life. Many times clawing my way to make ends meet. But the road of life is not easy, and I don't think it's supposed to be. Because I believe that we're supposed to endure challenges, and I truly believe that overcoming those challenges gives us a better perspective on life, to be able to learn from life and be better coaches. I learned from my negative experiences, and hopefully as a parent, and having had the honor and privilege of leading troops in very difficult situations, I've been a good coach in their race, getting them past some of their hurdles of life. I hope I instilled in them the 3-strike rule. The moral of the story: grit and determination regardless of circumstance. The pace of the race never slows. Some days you feel that someone is intentionally standing in front of you, throwing hurdles at you. But that's normal. Sometimes you will need to take a break from the race. And that's part of the marathon as well. Take time to plan your race, and take time for yourself and your family. Savor your blessings, because the hurdles of life will always be waiting for you. Regroup. Don't forget to enjoy life. And don't forget to make sure that you thank the people who have been the positive influences in your life. It's a team effort. Life truly is one team, one fight. Each of us start life where we start life. We can't change where we enter the world, in a mansion or in poverty. But where we start the race doesn't determine where we end up. That's just the starting point. Runners, on your mark, get set, go. Where you go once you start the race is up to you. Faith and perseverance. And never believe anyone who says you can't do something. Avoid them and keep going. I've now completed about 2/3 of my race, but the race isn't over. The hurdles may have gotten lower to accommodate my aching joints and spread out a little bit, but they remain. And I continue to accept life's challenges and will never give up. One of my favorite TV shows, yes, on the black and white TV with rabbit ears in the 1960s, was The Adventures of Superman, now ancient history. The show's introduction, which is legendary, says a lot about us. Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman. Everyone who rises in the morning and faces the hurdles of life with determination and grit is a Superman or super person. No gender exclusion. May your life's journeys be filled with good fortune, the love of family and friends, and undying faith, and blessings of health and happiness.